Soaring over Barcelona's skyline, the Sagrada Familia is an unfinished architectural wonder a century in the making. But its central spire, the Tower of Jesus Christ, is now finally complete. 566 feet high and crowned with a cross the size of a 5-story building, it makes Sagrada Familia officially the tallest church in the world.
It's definitely the most exciting church I've ever seen.
Millions flock here every year, including more than 700,000 Americans.
I've traveled a lot, and this is the piece of architecture that blows me away.
And soon the first American pope will be among them, arriving today in Barcelona as part of a week-long trip to Spain, where he was greeted by more than 1 million people in Madrid and held a private meeting with pop superstar Bad Bunny, who was performing in the Spanish capital at the same time, and becoming the first pontiff to address the Spanish parliament, warning lawmakers that war and political polarization are pushing the world into a profound spiritual and cultural crisis.
So the Sagrada Familia looks pretty close to being finished, but from here you can see those cranes all around it. Construction won't be fully done until at least 2034, according to authorities, and even that isn't a firm date.
Tomorrow, Pope Leo will officially bless the completed Jesus Tower and commemorate 100 years since the death of the man who first imagined it. Legendary Catalan architect Antoni Gaudí, the mastermind of Sagrada Familia's distinctive shape and texture. He began construction in the late 1800s, and his work was far from finished when he was killed in a tram accident in 1926. But the vision outlived the visionary, and over the last century, generations of architects have strived to finish Gaudí's work. Among them, Mauricio Cortez, who last year took NBC News behind the scenes as his team assembled the giant cross.
Gaudí wanted the cross to resemble a crystal.
In one of Pope Francis's last acts before his death, he put Gaudí, sometimes known as God's architect, on the path to potential sainthood. Now he'll need 2 verified miracles if the Sagrada Familia's continued glory isn't enough. A miraculous monument of faith, unfinished but beautiful, now ready to be blessed by the Pope.
Raf is joining us now. The assignment of the week, the live shot of the week. I mean, that is a heck of a scene behind you, Raf. And what's also interesting here, 100%. I am intrigued as we have, all over the world, World Cup fever going down too. The Pope found himself in a bit of a controversy there in the middle of Spain's biggest rivalry when he visited Real Madrid this week instead of the Barcelona team, right?
Yeah, big controversy, Hallie, in a city where soccer is like a religion in itself. This actually began before the Pope even set foot in Spain. He was asked on the papal plane to Madrid whether he supported Real Madrid or Barcelona. And the Pope, who of course was born Robert Prevost, gave this kind of interesting answer. He said, that's easy. The Pope is for all teams, but Prevost is for Real Madrid. That did not go down well here. Hallie.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.